What a beautiful weather we have today. It's just unbelievable. After so many days of rain and snow, this is actually the best day of December that we've had. Seeing the sun like this, it's a real blessing. We haven't had this for a long time now. So it's really good to be out here. Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Jermaine and I garden in Switzerland. So today is the last day of the year. It's the 31st of December and I'm so excited to show you the garden, to tell you about everything that I've done in the month of December and all the things that I have in store for next season. So let me turn the camera and let's take a look. So coming around the corner here, we are at the front of the house, in the front yard, and as usual I'm going to be starting with the vegetable garden. So here's what we have in the vegetable garden right now. Not much going on, not much activity, but everything is pretty much still alive. We've had a lot of rain and snow during in the month of December, and that has meant that things have not been growing that much. For instance, this veg right here, I could see it shrinking as the temperatures got cooler and cooler. Yeah. So let's take a look at the rest of the garden and let's start over here. Look at this. Oh my goodness. How beautiful is that? That is a Hellebore and this one is called the early rose. I'll talk more about my Hellebores and the ones that I've planted, but basically this is the only thing that I have blooming in the garden right now, and I have a few varieties of those that I'm going to be planting throughout, and I'll put a video together to give you more details on that. But check that out. We have a bee right there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. That is such a beautiful thing to see at this time of the year when everything is cold and seems a bit dead. I haven't yet pruned my lavender hedge. I love that it's still going, even though we have such cold weather conditions, or we've had such cold weather conditions in the past couple of weeks. And but I'm going to get smart on how best to do that, and then I'll take care of it. And then I have more containers here with Hellebores. Again, I'll put a separate video together to talk more about that and the process of how all of this came to be. And by the way, these containers are my latest addition to the garden. I found them in an antique shop, and together with that basket, really. I love that basket, and the stuff that I have inside I haven't planted yet. I'm still to put all of this together, and I'll be popping in a few bulbs as well. So that is coming up next. So now moving forward to the rest of the garden, the first border that I made, I've been working on it a little bit. So I've been making minor changes on the border, not much really, because again, nothing is really growing right now. Everything is pretty much dormant. I have to wait to see how the season begins and how things are looking when they start growing back. Over here, alongside the boxwood hedge, I put in some bulbs recently, some tulip bulbs and some daffodils. So right there where I have the terracotta pots, I'm going to be using all of those pots to put in some boxwood topiaries. So that is a project that I very much look forward to doing. Over here I've moved my maple tree, my Japanese maple tree, to the front, because the more I looked at it, the more I'm thinking it's going to look better here at the front, and I haven't decided yet, and it's so difficult to decide where to plant it. And for that reason, I'm going to be putting it in this container right here. I have a bigger container if that is necessary, because looking at the dimensions there, that container might be small. So I'll put that in a container and I'll be testing different locations in the garden for it, because if I plant it now, I'm sure to get it wrong. So I have this is the first container. I had to move this container over here the one with bulbs. And as you can see here again, the bulbs are threatening to start growing. I'm going to be putting a layer of mulch on top of that to suppress the growth and slow everything down because it's not yet time. So here is my new hydrangea bed. It's been many weeks in the making and it's still not completed. As you can see, I've been working on it and I've been frustrated sometimes not knowing exactly what would be the best way to kind of make this happen. However, now I have a plan that I'm going to try to stick to. So I think I should start by giving you the exact dimensions of this border. It's about 10 meters from where we have that bush of spirea. I don't know if it's a spirea, but it's some spring blooming shrub of some kind. New border starts over there and then runs all the way to where we have that first hydrangea right there. It's about 10 meters. And I plan to divide that into two sections. The first section will be with Annabelle hydrangeas, and the second one will be with the pinnacle hydrangeas, most likely the limelights. So in the middle of that, I'm planning to put this container right here. Put the container here, and with time I'll have the possibility to plant something in this container that might be trailing down here, like some beautiful petunias with another variety of shrub up there, and that should make the whole border a bit more interesting. So that is really my plan. The border would then be edged by these beautiful little grasses, and then look, and then I plan to throw a few of these allium bulbs that are more on the smaller side, but I'm thinking, I mean they start blooming in May, and by then we'll have the hydrangeas will have leaves already, and then we'll just see these little tiny blooms of the alliums along the border. I think that could be interesting. So those are the plans that I have for this border. I cannot wait for it to be completed. So underneath this black fabric is all the chairs and things that we use in the garden in summer. So we're covering that up for winter. And behind that is another plan of mine that I have. I plan to put in a hedge of grasses, well, a line of grasses. These are all perennial grasses, hardy in this zone. And I'm thinking that these will look really beautiful. Like we'll have all the hydrangeas over there, and then over here we'll have the grasses, and that will look fantastic. I'm going to be extending this walkway that we have here. I'm going to be moving that like here. And here we used to have a huge trampoline over here, which is now gone because it was broken. But we're going to be having a new trampoline here, a smaller one this time, and I need to plan and organize all this space around it and see that it comes together. So that much to this space here. I'm going to go now more to the back. These containers right here, they are full with bulbs that are waiting to come out and start looking beautiful. Moving forward, this is where we had the pool in summer and where we usually make a fire in winter and just a hangout spot. And I'm planning, as I said in my previous video, I'm planning to make a shrub ring, to build a shrub ring around that. So I'm just positioning the plants right now and trying to see what would make sense, how it might look. This Portuguese laurel here, I'm going to be removing it and putting it in a container, transforming it into a beautiful topiary. Well, I'm just putting everything here now, and then I'm going to see. So back there in that corner, you might notice that I've put something there, and that is a spirea. I'm planning to put a spirea there in a big container, and I'm hoping that it's just going to explode with blooms in that corner right there, like bam, you know. That would look really interesting. Now moving forward, over here is where we used to have the kids' playground. It was a big wooden structure that used to sit here, and now we've removed that as well. So what I have in mind is to get rid of this whole box completely. I might have to get a professional to come out here and get rid of that, and in the process also get rid of that hedge back there and just level this whole place, giving me more space to plant more important things. And if I get that done, I'll probably have more space to plant more vegetable or fruit trees. But right now the space is not being utilized to its full potential. So I need to change that a little bit. And while I'm at it, like this hedge, I planted each and every single one of these tiny plants, you know, about 8 or so years ago, and now they've completely grown and have exceeded all my expectations. The problem that I'm having right now is that I need to cut them because I want that beautiful sun on a day like this to kind of like penetrate the garden. And right now with that laurel that is growing into a tree, that is not happening. So these are the things that I need to get done next season. I need to remove a big part of this hedge on this side, trim it down significantly. So the other thing that is going on is these two containers right here. Last time I already reported that I've removed one of the pampas grass. As you can see, the other one is still here, but this is again another project that I need to work on. I need to get rid of this pampas grass and plant the pinky winky hydrangea, which is right here. I have those already. I have one here and one for that container. And then I'll be using all my Hellebores. I'll be putting some Hellebores in there, and I'll also be putting in some tulips. So that is also another project that I have to work on. So that was it with this garden tour. As of December of 2021, this is what the garden looks like. So many things coming up next season. I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait for that beautiful weather to come and for all the things that I've planted to start waking up and growing and blooming, and for all the tulips to come up. So it's really exciting. So that was it with the garden tour as of December. This is what the garden looks like, but there's so much coming up next season and I'm so excited. I have a little more experience now. I know how the things grow, how they look, and still so much to discover next season. And I so look forward to all the beautiful things that are coming. I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in our next video. Bye bye. Happy New Year.